I want to make sure I got my volumes. I want to make sure I got my stuff in here. So we're gonna does this like this. Yowza, yowza, yowza. Yowza, yowza, okay, we are on both things, so we good. All right, so nothing, and I mean nothing. What's going on, Chaos? I see you. Gosh, man. Dang. But I'm here today. Nothing makes me happy more than the title I'm bringing y'all today. Nothing makes me more happy than the title I'm bringing y'all today. What I will never let a woman tell me after 56 years of living, a man like me is preferred. Not happening. This is a story about Meritt Caldwell. Meritt Caldwell was a warden at a prison. And she said, nope. That's what she said. She said, I cannot go back to the sisterhood. I cannot have the sisterhood thinking that I'm bougie. I can't have the sisterhood thinking that I'm so bougie that I'm not down. I'm not going to surrender this nookie to some prisoner. You know, I'm not going to collect the Section 8 sauce from a prisoner. Give me a second. She said, nope. I know he's a prisoner. I'm the warden, but I got to get this up to him. I got to get this nookie up. He got to get this first class nookie. Oh, he got to be a thug. He got life in prison. I'm gonna give up. Oh, he gonna get this sauce. He gonna get this. I mean, I'm the warden. But more so than that, it makes me feel good to look at stories like this, because I will never allow a woman to tell me once again that they want a man like me. They don't want men like me. Women, especially women of color, have shown me that no good dudes, somebody that has a lower moral class than them, someone that has lower power than them, are the most preferred. If they can be sass with them, they are the most preferred. If they if they can bully them, they are most preferred. If they can have a psychological tantrum and still be in control, they prefer guys like that. Nothing hits home more than what I said than a female prison guard and an inmate, a male inmate. Nothing strikes that accord more than I'm the person of dominance and you are nobody. Therefore, you know what it is. I just want that, you know. But this woman of color, because they don't have nobody at home to go to, they get their variety out when they go out in the streets. They look at him and be like, I want you, I mean, anybody. So it's a zero class of that these individuals seek out. So when they want to get that nut skeeted on their face, I'm laughing at something else. I'm laughing at something else. When they want to get that nut skeeted on their face, nothing puts a woman in more of her lane, a woman of color, more in her lane than a warden and an inmate. This story, not surprising to me. As a matter of fact, I picked this story because I want to help the young cats understand. And I want to help you young guys understand that when you hear me speak, it's not because there's something wrong with me. Like I told you guys, or if I didn't say, I am not, let me say this. I blame all of my issues as to why I'm single today on me. I am blaming the reason why I am a failure in all my relationships. I am blaming it all on me. I am blaming my current status of interaction with a woman. I'm blaming it on me. Here's why. I was stupid enough, and I mean stupid enough, and I mean stupid enough. No, that wasn't an echo or a glitch. I was repeating it because I wanted to make sure this point hit home. I was stupid enough to surrender myself for pennies on a dollar. Do you know that at 56 years old, there is not one woman that could say, I gave him 20% of me? Not one. It was, I simply showed him interest and he was all in. That is why I am saying I am to blame. But then there's a flip side to the perspective of me being to blame. Because even if a woman say I'm not giving him more than 20%, once I've given them 100% of me, when I give you 100% of me, when you have my attention, when you got me on your roster, you should change something. Nothing changed. As a matter of fact, the percentage of what I was given lowered. But then I get older. Appreciate those thumbs up, y'all. Remember, I charge $1 to watch my live streams. You see that money sign next to the chat, or look below, you'll see my Cash App link. You will give me my dollar, but you can waive all that and give me my thumbs up. That thumbs up is your fee. Appreciate it. Right. So I found this story, and it wasn't amazing to me. Like I said, it was just a particular 20-year plus warden, an inmate of a prison, finds a guy that's got life and says, I want to get that. Nope, I want your. I know I'm the warden. I'm the top. Nothing is going to be the prize more than you when you get your prison calls by you saying you fucking me. Nothing is going to give. Let the niggas know in the streets when we up in this mug. Yeah, I'm in charge, but you got access to this pussy. You can get this pussy. Yeah, that's right. So the situation was reckless from the beginning, but the spin on the reckless was that the dude had HIV. So she was getting HIV dirty dick. She said, nope, I want that HIV dirty dick. So you play Russian roulette with your life and your career, but this is all hindsight that I've seen all my life. So what I'm saying is, when I listened to this story, it was not a shock to me. When I listened to this story, I said, thank you, because, you know, I can go through my life and say to myself, I can go through my life and constantly keep saying, hey, look, this person is interested in me. Maybe I'm being too hard. Nope, I'm not being too hard, because like I was talking to my franchisee, and I said to him, and I quote, it's amazing how I now understand my worth. I'm not giving myself away for pennies on a dollar, and no woman is willing to pay my price. What is my price? I'm first. I will never be first. What I've been shown is that in the sisterhood is that the sisterhood comes first. My daughter showed me that her mother's hatred towards me will come before our love. My own mother showed me that the hatred for her sons will come, and she'll put the love for her nieces before her sons. Every woman have showed me. I set a date. Nope, they got something going on with the sisterhood. That falls through. This is what I learned. This is what I learned. This is what I see. And here's the unique thing about women. They will do something to you and expect you to wipe that off the slate. You can do something and say, well, this is that, and they can say, oh wow, that's our situation. Sorry, and then think that you're gonna come around and say, well, you know what? I'm gonna put that aside. If you ain't treating me, if I'm not number one, I'm not interested. We can be friends. We can talk for 20 years, but I get it. I am not number one. And I'm going to tell all you guys out there something. And I'm going to mean this when I say this. If a woman ain't giving you a baby, if a woman ain't giving you a baby, and here's what I mean when I say this. So don't just think, I'm going to play this video for y'all, but I want to say this so y'all could understand something. And I don't want y'all to take it out of context. If you don't want children no more, I get it. But let a woman at least ask you, do you want me to have your baby? The ultimate homage you can pay to a man is to have his baby. What you guys see when you navigate yourself throughout society, you see women paying homage to dirty dick. That's what you see. You see women paying homage to dirty dick. That's what you see. And then they meet you and it's, I'm not that. I don't think I want to do that. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. No good dudes don't hear. They don't hear I don't. No good dudes get a resume of what would you like me to do? They get that in abundance. And I'm here to tell you, as a nice guy, X, I understand now. Simply put, when you guys are in a relationship, you will know that woman love you when she asks or when y'all talk about she dropping your baby. If you are 45 years old or 50 years old and you meet that woman and she just start, oh, my baby having days are over. I'm not trying to have no baby. Just look at who she had a baby with and then ask her, like I did all of them. So I want to get this straight. You had all your babies with bums, but meet a good man and he got to listen to what they should have got. No, I'm just saying, I'm not asking. I'm saying I get to hear what they got, what they should have got, rather. And that's what it gets down to. I understand women now more than I ever did. And what I understand when it comes to it is just stay yourself. You are not their first choice. Just stay yourself. Because if like I said, if you live right next door to their job and they live 100 miles away and they got to commute, they will not move in with you. They'll say, well, let's move in together, but you move in with me. They want to be in a situation where they are in control. If you put them first, if you ever hear we can't because I got to do something with somebody else, you are not first. And who in their right mind wants to be second? Who? But according to women, they don't see this because they truly think that they say enough to you for you to understand. Oh, and I want to be clear. In a black community, you ain't even second. I have never met a black man that was second. Black men comes in around 7th or 6th priority. I used to think 4 or 5. Well, we are 7th or 6th. It's the job, the mom, if they got a brother or sister, now at my age, if the brother or sister got kids, the sisterhood, the alpha, gamma, alpha, the sorority sisters, and then it's the females that they meet at work. It's always some class of females. And then you, after everything gets exhausted, after everything gets burnt out, then it's you. Not, no girl, I know it's your anniversary, but my man want to just take me out for a night out on the town. It's not that. It's not that. When you see these, I'm telling you, when you see, these are things to look out for. If you don't see these things, that's what it gets down to. So when you meet a woman, or you look at, if you go navigate yourself around social media, and you see an individual that's 25 years plus in the game, or warting up a dang on prison system of male prisoners, and said, I'm going to get this dude the pussy. Just think, that is a small version. That is not a small version. That is the larger look at what's going on out here in relationships on a smaller scale. That's what that is.
Her office, like herself, was the epitome of order and discipline. River Creek Prison met the October morning with its usual routine. The heavy gates opened at 7:30 sharp, letting in an armored corrections van. Meritt Caldwell watched its approach from the window of her office on the third floor of the administration building, absently stirring her long, cooled coffee. Her office, like herself, was the epitome of order and discipline. Every folder on the massive oak desk lay strictly parallel to the edge. The computer monitor was perfectly aligned. Even the blinds on the windows hung with mathematical precision. In her 25 years in the prison system, Meritt Caldwell had learned to value order above all else. Today's transport brought only one inmate, Fletcher Carmody, transferred from the Nevada State Penitentiary. His file had been on the warden's desk for a week. 34 years old, college educated, convicted of grand fraud, 15 years. Impeccable behavior, worked in the prison library. Meritt fixed her impeccably styled graying hair and walked.
She put him in a prison library to isolate him. She knew she wanted that dick from day one. She read his file. Oh, he's a first tier class. I can get some first class prison dick. Give me a second. That's what she said. She said I can get some first class. If I'm gonna give a prisoner this, he gonna be a first class prisoner. Oh, he gonna be college educated, clean, girl. Oh, somebody I can. And then when he get out, when she get out, I can possibly start a life with him. Amazing. Let us continue.
Down to the reception area. Her heels beat a steady rhythm on the concrete floor. The guards stood at attention as she passed by. She was respected and feared in that order. Carmody appeared to be a tall, well-built man with regular features and an attentive look in his brown eyes. His hands were cuffed, but he held himself with a kind of quiet dignity. "Welcome to River Creek, Mr. Carmody." Meritt's voice sounded smooth and cold. "I'm the warden, Mrs. Caldwell. We have strict rules."
Of course it sounded smooth. She was rapping to him from the day one. She was saying to him, "Oh no, you getting this pussy. Oh no, you getting this pussy." And this is the reason why I am where I'm at today. I will find love in continuously buying cars. I will find love in working out. I get back up at 4 in the morning now. I feel good. I am not. Listen. I've just seen too much. I've just seen too much, and I just seen too much. You know, if I was 40 years old, 45 years old, I wouldn't be in my mentals of where I'm at now. But I understand it don't matter what you do. It don't matter what you do for a woman. You must adhere to their curriculum. You can have it better than them. If you renting, I mean, if you own a home and they're renting, they want you to live with them. If her parent, I talked to many individuals. They ended up living good, and then the wife just pops up. "Oh, I want to move back and be near with my mom." As soon as they move back to their mom, she's like, "Yeah, thank you." It's all over. When Atia LaShawn Bradley found out that her family lived right next door to us, the last time they seen her, she was a little girl, and the world part just so happened buy a house right next to Atia LaShawn Bradley parent. Once she found that out, it was like, I got a power source, so when I want to do wrong, it is just what I see. If a woman is not putting you first, and I'm gonna be clear, I don't think they know how. I don't. So this is what it gets down to. That man got transferred to that prison arm. That man got sent to that prison, but that prison is that female's world. That's her world. That's why she said we got strict rules. She just wanted to impose. I'm the boss here, but you're getting this pussy. Listen, I'm not telling y'all to be like me. I'm just telling y'all to learn from me. I don't have no confidence in this thing called love. I have none. I have seen the best I have seen the worst dudes get the best of women. I didn't see the best dude buy Bentleys. You don't see the best dudes get with the best credit. You see the worst dudes with the worst credit. Everything is worse with dudes, except when it comes to getting the one thing that us good men want more than anything: a companion. Now it's just we ain't even in the race. I have a $5,700 Apple computer that I'm looking at, that's right there behind this tablet. There's a $6,000 TV on the wall right there. I have I'm in good health. I have no little to debt besides my mortgage, and the 2 cars that I'm paying on, they on one is on Turo, and the other one I make money doing Lyft. I got beautiful life, but the one thing that I could never solidify is a woman of color. It's always something. But then when you listen to stories like this, you say, dag, how did he get there? How? Because what y'all should take from this more than anything, the no good dudes are preferred. If you got morals, if you stand on your morals and you will not crack, you will not, your armor, girl, you can go ahead and be sassy, you can get attitude so you want. Well, first of all, when you get an attitude with a man, you cross the line. He done with you. You get going. If you're going to change the, we try to talk and you change the subject, you can get going. If you try to deflect and all that nonsense, you guessed it, you can get going. When you're dealing with a man, you will sit down there and since you're a woman with everything else, be a woman when we have a conversation. You don't get that. Guys like this get. Here's a woman that's the warden of the prison, and the best she could do is an inmate with 15 years.
And we expect them to be strictly enforced. Yes, ma'am, he replied. His voice appeared pleasant, with a slight hoarseness. You will be working in our library. It's a privilege easily lost. Any infraction and you'll go to the general block. Carmody nodded slightly. A faint smile slid across his face, as if he was amused by his superior's sternness.
Right. A smile slid across his face because he knew she was setting him up for the dick. He knew that. He said, the library? How do I get in the library? Yeah, because you got it when you in there putting them books together and everything. I'm getting that dick. Let's be clear. I'm setting you up to get that dick.
The library was the pride of River Creek. 15,000 volumes, a computer catalog, a spacious reading room. It was where classes were held for inmates who wanted an education. Meritt personally saw to the paperwork and handed the new inmate over to Warden Dakota Ramsey, a young woman with a military bearing and a keen eye. Back in her office, Meritt looked over Carmody's file one more time. Something about it alarmed her. Perhaps it was that faint smile, or a too direct gaze. Prison was no place to be cocky. That was the first thing you learned behind bars. The day went on as usual. Staff meeting, reports, rounds of the grounds. River Creek lived by its own rules. There was a hierarchy here, both among the prisoners and the staff. Meritt knew all the unwritten rules and knew how to use them to keep order. Toward evening, she saw Carmody again in the library. He was methodically arranging the books, making notes in a journal. His movements were precise and sure, as if he'd been doing it all his life. How are you settling in? She asked, stopping at a shelving unit.
So what prison warden cares about how an inmate is settling in? Why does she care? It's not a job. He's not getting paid for it. You're in prison. It's not supposed to be a vacation. But of course, when you're setting up that dick, she'll do anything to strike up conversation. She's like, you're going to land that plane in my coochie. That's what you're about to do.
The cataloging system is a little different from what I'm used to, but I'll figure it out, he replied without taking a break from his work. You have a fine collection of classic literature. Meritt hummed. Usually prisoners didn't notice such details on the first day. I hope you live up to the recommendation, she said dryly, and headed for the exit. I certainly will, Mrs. Caldwell, he said after her. His voice had that slight sneer in it again.
Of course.
Already in her office, Meritt caught herself rereading his file again. Something was definitely wrong with this Fletcher Carmody. Something she couldn't quite put her finger on yet. And Meritt Caldwell didn't like mysteries in her prison. Outside the window, dusk was thickening. River Creek was preparing for lights out. Somewhere in the back of the prison building, a siren sounded, calling the inmates to their cells. Another day was coming to an end. Another inmate had joined the well-oiled system. Meritt didn't know that this day would be the beginning of a story that would change her life forever. A month passed. Fletcher Carmody quickly put the library in order. The catalog was updated with pedantic precision. Books were returned to the shelves on checkout day, and the reading room was always immaculately clean. Even the most fastidious wardens couldn't find anything to complain about. Meritt looked into the library more and more often on the pretext of checking in.
So here's a warden that said, I got him in the library, and that's the most important thing in this prison. Not making sure the guards do drills in case there's a attempt to take over, not making sure the food is good. The whole thing was where she wanted to get that good dick. She said, no, I'm gonna get this good dick. No, I gotta make sure the library is up to snuff. 15,000 books, whatever. I gotta make sure these books is, yeah, because when the Library Association of America come and look at these books, I gotta make sure my library wins first prize. Ah!
She noticed how skillfully Carmody dealt with the other prisoners, never raised his voice, but his requests were obeyed without question. That evening, she stayed in the library longer than usual. Carmody was arranging books in the far corner when she stopped at the shelf of classic literature. You've reorganized the classics section, she remarked, running her finger along the spines. Yes, by chronology of works, he echoed, stepping closer. It's easier to trace the development of literary movements that way. Interesting approach. Meritt picked up a tattered volume from the shelf. Jane Austen. I haven't reread it in a while. Pride and Prejudice? He sounded genuinely interested. Or Emma. Reason, she paused. Are you well acquainted with her work? Studied English literature at university, he shrugged. Austen was the subject of my thesis. Her understanding of human nature is remarkably accurate. They talked for nearly an hour. Carmody proved to be a great conversationalist. Erudite.
Here's a warden fraternizing. An hour, they chatting, they kicking it. But what happened, unbeknownst to her, dude had HIV. And him having HIV, and she wanting to give him see, I really don't think they got condoms in prison. So she gave him that dope wet, because women of color, it's all about the dope wet. Mm-hmm.
Air with his mouth. Mine now. Harris leaned in close to his ear. Everything that happens here is my business. The guards pretended not to notice anything. Fletcher realized this was just the beginning. News of his affair with the warden had already spread throughout the prison. For men like Harris, it was a gift of fate, an opportunity to put the upstart in his place. In the evening, lying on the hard bunk, Fletcher listened to the sounds of the cell block. Somewhere a prisoner was screaming, like a nightmare. The guard's keys jingled. Water dripped from a faulty faucet. He thought of the library, the smell of old books, the silence of the reading room, the warm evenings with Meritt. It all seemed like another life now, almost a dream. Hey, Carmody. Marcus Wayne's voice came through the wall. You know what they're going to do to you, don't you? Fletcher knew. There was no room in the prison hierarchy for those who slept with their superiors, especially if it ends in scandal. The next day during lunch, someone hot soup spilled out onto his robe. His soap disappeared in the shower room. Minor bullying, harbingers of greater misfortune. Dakota Ramsey occasionally walked past his cell. Her face was impenetrable, but once she lingered a second longer than usual. She really loved you. It sounded like a judgment. By the end of the week, Fletcher noticed that the guards were passing his cell less frequently. At certain hours, the corridor seemed to die out. He knew it meant he was in for a surprise. Friday night, he wrote a letter to Meritt. He wrote 3 pages in small handwriting, trying to explain the inexplicable. He told her about his diagnosis, about his fear of loneliness, about how it was impossible to resist her strength and vulnerability.
So here's a guy who I'm talking to the guys that are like me, that don't seem to have a woman that will give their career and whole life, and you know, even when you don't got dirty, you still can't seem to get a woman to say, you know what, look at you and say, I'm putting all my cards on this guy. You know? Here's a guy that got it made. Here's a guy that, you know, we all should be jealous of. I'm talking about all those guys that wanted a wife and couldn't find one. All the guys, especially my age, I'm an old fart, man. It's give me a second. I'm an old fart, you know. Love is I got no chance at this thing, you know. It's I'm I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy of the ill nana, you know. I'm I'm looking to buy a blow up doll. If anybody got any good blow up dolls, I want the one with the big lips. I'm laughing at something else. I want the one with the big lips, you know. I'm gonna end it with this and say, you know, once again, if it's anything I want y'all to learn from me, couple things. Number one, don't try to be down with nobody. I'm talking from love. Don't try to be down with no woman. Don't try. I'm not saying women are bad. I'm not saying nothing. What I'm simply saying is, you thinking you're coming at them with honesty and love, and it's like, where do you fit in my world? Their whole perspective and narrative is, where do you fit in my world? Every after the mid 90s, I have never seen a woman that surrendered her world and went with the guy. Before that, it wasn't even a question. Every woman that I know, every man that I know that got married, the woman surrendered their life and followed the man. Let me say that again. The woman surrendered their life and followed the man. All these women run around here, and in their perspective, and they're women of color, their perspective and narrative is that men are no good, men are nothing, and they want to use that as some type of security code to say, well, I could never, because you might, and you never know if this and all that. Let me tell you something. Me personally, every woman that knows me knows there is layers to my downfall. There's layers to my downfall. I'm not lose one income and I'm looking to be out on the streets. In order for me to ever have a problem where my finances is deemed insufficient to support my life, I mean, I have 9 credit cards and only got a balance on one of them. So, you know, I'm saying that because there are people that say, I'm living off my credit cards. I would get through that, but it ain't even that. I have my life. It's going to take a while before I ever bottom out. It don't matter. A woman will apply that. I don't want to do nothing with you. I don't trust a man. Like I said, if you don't learn nothing from me, learn that. Don't, under circumstances zero, try to be down with a woman. If she's not trying to be down with you, because you're the catch, you're the man. There are 7 of them to every one of you. If that's not enough for her to say, you know what, I am not going to find a good man like this again. If that's not enough for them to do that, it's okay. I'm not saying to do anything. What I'm saying is, it's okay. Me personally, I'm not trying to be down. If an individual ain't trying to be down with me. Thing number 2. A lot of you guys, I'm telling you, what I haven't seen in decades was relationships that have curriculum. Let me tell you what I mean by that. Relationships that have curriculum. Every relationship I've seen, individuals got together via forfeiture. We messed around and had a baby. Oh, she lost her apartment. I let her move in. Then we became in a relationship. Last year, or should I say the year before last? Yeah, that was last year. Year before last. In 2023, when I let that chick move in with me, She said, I need a place to stay for a month. And then 3 days later, she walking around with her titties all out, big giant nipples. I was supposed to say, oh, I want that. See, no, I wasn't interested. Because I knew that once I get up in that, then all of a sudden, now you just signed a lease to my house. Wasn't happening. So I was just like, oh, came to me bouncing her titty, and my titty's big. Yeah, just washing the dishes. Yeah, I'm a bit. Nope. If you and a woman decide that y'all are going to be in a relationship, y'all need to write the curriculum of y'all relationship. What are we trying to establish? What are we trying to establish? Okay, let's do this. By this time, we should be that. We should be moving forward. What I never did is had a curriculum with a woman. It was all, we just go together, and there's nothing. There's no curriculum. There's none. And then what happens is you're looking to move forward, but there's nothing to compare it to. So, because you didn't establish nothing. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. What you guys got to do, once again, is when you decide you're going to be in a relationship with a woman, you need to establish a curriculum. What are we doing? Are we just are we going? What are we trying to establish? Okay, well, just curious. If you do that and I do that, how is that? Establish a curriculum. If not, give me a second. If not, you'll end up like me. You'll end up like me. So number one, don't be trying to be don't be trying to be down with them. And number two, establish a curriculum of your relationship, and this is first and foremost, the third and final. Do not, under circumstances zero, put a woman first. They're not going to put you first. Once again, I'm 56 years old. I'm an old guy, elder statesman. I've never had a woman put me first. My ex-wife and I, when we were together, I was paying for her son to go to. I was paying daycare for her son, only to find out she was getting welfare, paying for it, but I was giving her money. So she just tricked me, pimped me out. Atila Sean Bradley was losing her apartment. This is what I told y'all about. We only lived together because she was losing her apartment. And that was a scam. She claimed that the place that she was living at, the owner was selling it, so I let her come move in with me. And 2 years later, I ride past there. He's still living in the house. Never for sign. Never was there for sale sign in front of the house. My fault. Don't put them first. If you listening to a woman and she say I'm having issues, just listen to her have issues. Do not apply no input. If she say, wow, my car getting repoed, just listen. Don't ask, what are you going to do? If my car getting repoed. Wow, okay. Yeah, they do. Oh, when they coming to get it? Oh, okay. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, because one time I didn't have no car. I just got the lift app. That's all you say. That's all you say. I got 7 cars. You can have a car problem all you want. You're not holding one of my cars. Your issues are yours. I realized this last year when I had the accident on my motorcycle. And my leg was, I told y'all, my leg was swollen. I couldn't drive myself to the hospital. It took three days for the swelling to go down for me. I didn't have nobody to come and say, I got you. I didn't. Well, just lay in the back and lay across the thing. I know you can't bend your leg, but just lay across the thing. I didn't have that. I didn't have that. But this no good dude can get him some pussy. Guy can go to prison, and a black woman could say the sisterhood rules say that because you're a jailbird bum, and you got HIV dirty, then I got to give you some pussy because you having HIV puts a more spice into the sisterhood issue, because they love their problematic. They love that they love when that dude got problems. When ain't nothing wrong with you, you're not wanted in the community you guys call black. So just take heed to that, please. I'll catch you guys on the